Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Jen Sorensen, and in today's soap making video, we are continuing our Spring Fling series. Now, spring means something different to everyone based on where you live, and I've been fortunate enough to travel around the United States and even the world different times a year, and I've gotten to experience spring, whether it be extremely hot down south in Texas or Florida, or in this case, and I talk about it in the video, to the DC area where the cherry blossoms are just absolutely stunning in the spring. And that's the inspiration for this video. Why don't we dive in right now and see how I make this soap, and we'll come back here and see if I interpreted it the way I wanted it to. Let's check it out. All right, friends, let's get this next soap in our Spring Fling series going. I'm going to add in my lye water solution here, and this is just lye water with a little bit of sodium lactate to firm things up. And I'm going to add my stick blender here, and let's blend this up really quick. Actually already incorporated my fragrance oil into this soap, which is a lovely cherry blossom scent. How's that for anticipation when I was trying to remember what the words were? All right, I'm blending this up nicely here. I've got coconut milk and a little bit of kaolin clay as well. This is blended up nicely to a thin trace. What I'm gonna do, I want to pour off a little layer right now into my mold because, and I don't think I'm going to need my stick blender anymore. So let me take this off, put that off to the side, plug this in because I want to make sure it's ready to go for the next one. First thing I'm going to do is pour a little bit in here because I want a little bit of a white base here, or even off-white. And then I'm going to put this off to the side here. I've got 3 different colors here that I'm going to mix in a little bit of a little bit of soap batter. And this is part of the reason why I already blended in the fragrance oil, is because I didn't want to deal with that blending in the fragrance oil. And just a little bit of black. I don't want it too heavy on the black. Okay, and then the top here, I want to have kind of a marbled look. I want this to be a little sophistication. And the reason I went with cherry blossoms is because my aunt lived in Maryland, in Silver Spring, when I was little, probably until, I don't know, I was 10 or so, 10 or 12, I don't remember exactly. So I would go down and visit her, on a regular basis, and we would, sometimes see the cherry blossoms. They're just so synonymous with springtime in the DC area, which I just love the DC area itself. It's such a pretty area. I enjoy it quite a bit. All right, these are looking similar, even though they are very different colors. I've got Love Bite, which is a very bright purpley pink. Then I've got Rose Gold, which is really subtle pink. So I'm guessing these may shift a bit, as I know the rose gold tends to dull a little bit, so hopefully these shift a tad. Then I like the black. The black is a nod to some of the Asian influence of, obviously cherry blossoms, very Asian, but you often see them in the cherry blossom kind of colorings when you see, paintings outlining them. You just see it a lot, so I thought this would be a nice little addition, because I want this to look very marbled. I want this to kind of have that kind of appeal. I don't even really need to mix this up too much. I want this to have that marbled look so that it kind of has that sophisticated feel. And I felt like this black, which is activated charcoal, was going to really do that. All right, this is behaving well, so I'm just gonna kind of swirl some of that in, not all of it. I'm gonna do a couple layers of this. Because I don't want this super streaky, I really want it to be marbled. And I'm gonna save, I think I'm gonna put all the black in, and then I'm gonna save some of the pinks for the top. So let's pour this in. And I think what I might do is give this a tad bit of a stir inside before I add more of the pinks. Because I'm okay with the black getting a little grayish in certain areas, because that's just gonna add to the actual marbled look. Like, I want it to have depth. And if some of the pink becomes a little bit lighter, again, that's just gonna add to the effect. All right, that's good enough for right now. Into the sink. I'm just gonna kind of give this a tiny swirl. That's it. Now we will add more of the pink. And more of this pink, saving the rest for the top of the soap. Because, you know, we want it to look very spring-like and fun. All right, this is set up a tiny bit. You can see it's still a little fluid. So with that, I'm going to use my spatula here to break the fall, and I'm gonna try and do this really soft. I'm okay if it's not perfect. Okay, there we go. I'm really hoping this looks marbled. Excellent, looking good. We need to get a lot more down here. And now I really want to try and cover up more of that black with the white. I want this to be predominantly pink on top and white. So let me scrape this container out, do what I can. And if you look at the spoon, the spatula here, that's really the look that I'm going for, is this very mottled look. I didn't want it to be super clean lined. I wanted it to look a little bit marbled. Hello, how many times can I say that in here? I didn't want it to be very organized. I wanted it to be like, I'm picturing sophisticated DC mansions with cherry blossoms out front in the spring. That's kind of the vibe I was going for. Okay, we need to do some cleanup right there. Let's get the other side. Okay, this is looking very spring-like, and it smells very, very subtle. It's a very soft, subtly floral, and I really like that. It's not overly strong. It's just gonna be very light, I think. Okay, we've got one pink in. Let's kind of really scrape these containers. This is a 1 cup, I think, or so measuring cup. It's itty bitty. It's really cute. I like it. It helps me control and not overdo it, because sometimes I have a tendency to be like, oh yes, all this color, let's do it. Okay, good enough for right now. Now let's get the rose gold in. And I think I'm gonna do kind of down the middle here, or no, this is the Love Bite, I think. This is a little bit darker. It's hard to tell, but that's okay. It's A-okay. And obviously, you know we're gonna swirl this. If you've seen several of my videos, you know that we've got to mix it up a little bit. All right, how about right here? Get all this out. All right, good enough. Sometimes you just gotta say that it's good enough. I think I'm going to swirl, and there goes my my rubbing alcohol that I'm gonna spray on top in a second. Here we go. Here's a popsicle stick. And I think I might, do I need to do a double swirl with this? I don't think so. This is doing a pretty good job blending this up. And I actually think that the texture of this is really nice. It's set up perfectly for what I wanted. It didn't get too fast, too soon. Excellent. I think I am going to add a little bit of Sparkle Plenty to the top for some shimmer here. And I'm gonna kind of have a little bit of a heavy hand because I want this to really shimmer. I want this to look like that marbled countertop with lots of shimmer in it. You know, the mica's inside. And then we're gonna finish it off with our rubbing alcohol here. And we'll see what this marble looks like tomorrow when I cut into it. Let's hope it looks okay. Oh boy, there's a lot of black there. I was getting a little worried. You can see the other side. A little worried that I did too much black, but we'll see. You never know. You never know. And full disclosure, this has been like 5 days since I made this, so this may be a little tricky to cut. It's funny, I used to not be able to wait to cut into these. Okay, not too bad. And I'm like, oh yeah, I need to cut into that. All right, let's take this end off here. Okay. Definitely more black than I had intended initially, but overall, not too bad. That has a really fun look to it that I don't dislike. I do like that there's that distinct line at the bottom with the white, so you can see a little bit of a difference. That, you know, it kind of adds a little something to it here. Let's open these up like a butterfly. Yep. This is really nice. It's a very soft scent here. And I kind of like how you've got these layers upon layers. It's just fun. And at the top, how shimmery, pearlescent. Yeah, next time I need to remind myself to do less black with this. And I'm not seeing a ton of distinction between the two different pinks. Even though there's twice as much pink in here, the black is really what stands out. But you know, sometimes that's what happens. And I kind of like the way that this looks as a result, you know? It's got a different feel. The scent is a very soft floral, and it kind of has almost like a clean cotton floral scent to it. It's really interesting. Here's an end sample piece, but I would describe it as we'll just grab a random one here to show you, as a floral clean cotton. That's how I would describe it. So I will check in with you very soon to see how the scent stays and if the color morphs at all. Can you see how washed out it is outside? Because yes, there's still snow on the ground as I film this at the end of February, which is why I really want to do Spring Fling. Here is this fantastic soap. It smells, I talked about it in the video when I was filming it and cutting it. It has that cherry blossom scent, but it almost elicits that clean cotton smell because it's really soft and lovely with that cherry blossom, but it kind of has that, I don't want to say baby powdery scent to it, but it just has this really lovely softness. I think that's what it is. There's this softness to the floral note that makes this really pretty. Now, even though I only filled that black container up halfway, I think it spread in the container when I poured it into the big one because a lot more black than I planned. And there were 2 pinks in there and doesn't look as dominant, but even still, this just looks really nice. I can't stop smelling this. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this pour. This will be in the shop for you to check out. I would love to know, what is spring like near you? When I say spring and your hometown or where you currently live, what does that mean to you? And have have you ever seen the cherry blossoms? Because they're beautiful. But until next time, I hope you get out there, create something absolutely beautiful. Have a fantastic day. I will see you real soon.